Hey, listen, if you want to feed you and your loved ones and you want the best meat money can buy, look no further than our friends at the Backyard Butchers. BackyardButchers.com delivers premium Texas ranch beef straight to your door. And all of their cuts delivered to you are 100% U.S. born, raised, and processed. Guys, there are no growth hormones. There are no preservatives, and they come straight from the ranch in Texas. And you can get quality meat all while you save big when you subscribe. You get 2 dinner-sized ribeyes or 2 pounds of Wagyu ground beef with your new subscription, and choose between the premium steakhouse box or the farmhouse box. Guys, it's real American beef. No hormones, straight from Texas ranches. And if all that wasn't enough, use my promo code DCTV and get up to 30% off when you subscribe. And you can cancel anytime at thebackyardbutchers.com. So what you waiting for? Punch in that promo code DCTV and enjoy the big savings. Come on, guys, get to the Backyard Butchers. Let's go. Hey, that's my boy Tiago Beowulf on the camera back there. He gave me this one. That means go. All right, guys. So I'm at the UFC. We're filming tough. We're cutting weight for weigh-ins. And I saw big news this morning that Justin Gaethje is now fighting someone different, not Dan Hooker. So what do? Right? Gaethje's my boy. My first call in the morning, at 6 o'clock in the morning, I called JG because I want to know what's happening. Is there a preference? There are people that are already stepping up saying, I want the fight. They recognize how big the event is, the significance of being in there against Justin Gaethje, the disappointment that Gaethje must feel not being able to fight Dan Hooker. First off, let's talk about Dan Hooker. For Dan Hooker to pull out of this fight, the injury or whatever happened to him must be so significant because he has to understand and recognize that with the wave that he's riding, with the momentum that he's gained, with the victories that he's had back to back, none being more impressive than his fight with Mateus Gamrot last year, where he got that decision and looked like an absolute Terminator. To get the Justin Gaethje booking for a guy like that, who very shortly ago, honestly, we were calling for his retirement. I thought that Dan Hooker was done. He was losing. He seemed to be not improving anymore. Dude changed his hair, got some brand new tattoos, and turned into a whole new fighter. For him not to be taking this fight right now tells me that it's very significant. How significant, I don't know. I'm at the UFC, so I'm going to start asking questions. And every update, I'll throw in some YouTube shorts or something. But I will keep you guys in the loop as long as I can try to figure out what's going on with Dan Hooker. Because, again, I know how important this fight was to him. But moving forward, Justin Gaethje is still fighting. I called him this morning, and my immediate question was, do you have any plans to not fight this weekend? He goes, are you fucking crazy? That's Justin Gaethje. He goes, are you crazy? Of course I'm fighting. I said, what's up, JG? What are you doing? He goes, I'm sleeping. It's 7:30 in the morning here. I thought it was 8:30. I thought he was in Central Time. I'm on the West Coast. I thought it was 8:30, but it was 7:30. He goes, of course I'm fighting. I said, well, there are guys that are picking their hand up going, I want in, right? Rafael Fiziev immediately said, let's run it back, JG. Renato Moicano said, I want in. 2 weeks is plenty of time for me to get ready. I want in. So I asked JG, who do you want? He goes, I don't care. He goes, I don't care who I have to fight. I'll fight any of those guys. I said, but for me, I want you versus Renato Moicano. That's what I would like. I think that's a fun fight. And I think that that fight looks more to people like the fight against Dan Hooker, what we were all expecting. I get it. Moicano just lost to Islam Makhachev in the way that he did. But JG's coming off of a loss too. He got beat by Max Holloway in brutal fashion. We learned that Moicano couldn't compete with Makhachev. There's no dishonor in that. There's no knocking him for that. Why not match these two up? We know that Money Moicano is always there to fight. We know that he's willing to stand and trade with the best of them. We know that he possesses submission ability. We know that Moicano can do anything in the octagon, and we know that it'll be fun. We know that he's going to bring the show, and we know that Moicano is willing. Hell, we saw this man step on 24 hours notice to fight the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So why in the world would he not fight a guy coming off of a loss in the way that Justin Gaethje got beat by Max Holloway? But I think what people need to realize, though, it's not in just the finish in the Max Holloway fight. If you're Renato Moicano, you're licking your chops because of what you saw in the lead up to the fight. JG said it himself. He did not fight well against Max Holloway. He said he didn't feel like himself. But if you're an opponent and you're looking at this, you start to think to yourself, what if this is just him now? And the whole world doesn't know it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Justin's not that same guy he was a little bit ago. But what if as an opponent you look at Gaethje and go, maybe this is just Justin Gaethje today. He's not the same guy that he was before. If you're Moicano, you're licking your chops. You're looking for a way to get back to where you were after losing that championship opportunity. Wow, you made more money than you've ever made in your life against Makhachev. It didn't go the way that you planned. And for Gaethje, this is a massive opportunity to fight a guy that just fought for the UFC world title. This kid just fought for a world championship. If Justin can get his hands on him, if Justin can beat him, Justin Gaethje can start to build momentum back in the direction that he wants or back in the direction that he wants to go. But he said right away to me, of course I want to fight. I'm not backing off the fight. Do you have a preference? No. Whoever shows up, I'm fighting. Me as a person that watches Justin Gaethje, supports Justin Gaethje, watches the fight game as closely as anyone in the world, I know that that fight makes sense. I know that Moicano and Gaethje makes sense right now, not only for the division, but in terms of what type of fight we want to put on before Alex Pereira hits the mat against Magomed Ankalaev. You want an explosive fight. You want something that's fun. You want something that gets the people out of their seats. Because in the main event, you have a fight that can be crazy explosive like Pereira's fights normally are, or you could have Ankalaev just trying to wrestle him the whole time, and maybe it doesn't turn out to be the best fight. I would actually favor the fight being fun because Ankalaev said he wants to stand and fight with him, but you never know. But by putting Gaethje in the co-main event, especially in someone like Moicano, that is almost guaranteed to make sure that you have a banger. So I'm hoping that they put together Gaethje, Moicano, and Justin and Fiziev fought already. While that was a good fight, they fought already. We've seen that story. We don't need this rematch just yet, and we don't need this rematch when Fiziev is coming off of an injury, right? He's coming off of an injury. He hasn't been active. He hasn't been fighting. So I don't really want to see him back in there with Gaethje right away. He can fight someone else as he works his way back into that type of high-level competition. Before I go, I want to touch on this. So a couple weeks ago, Alex Pereira was still in Australia. And I said on Good Guy, Bad Guy, I was very concerned that he was still there, that he wasn't at home just working the wrestling, preparing himself to make sure that he doesn't get taken down to the ground and rode the entire time by Magomed Ankalaev. I like Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira and I have built a relationship. I have a relationship with Glover and Plinio. I like those guys as I do Magomed Ankalaev. But I was very concerned, and that concern has not changed. I still feel the same way in regards to him being there as long as he was, all the travel, as he was getting prepared. But the champ actually responded. The champ sent me a video. DC, don't worry about us. We're in here working. And I saw him and Glover Teixeira wrestling. I saw him and Glover Teixeira trying to get ready in space. They need to be working on the wall. I saw him and Glover wrestle with no shoes in snow yesterday. So I guess Pereira's telling me, rain, sleet, snow, it don't matter. I'm getting my wrestling work in. And that's great for me to see because I like the guy. I like what he brings to the sport. I like that he's fun and I like that he can put people out. But this is the hardest fight he's ever had in his entire career, and the most difficult matchup he's ever had in the entire career. So I'm glad to see that he is doing all the things that will be necessary for him to have a chance to retain his championship. Because even that is not guaranteed when you're fighting a savage like Ankalaev. That's going to be a great fight. I can't wait. But Gaethje versus whoever, leading right into that fight, UFC 313 is going to be an absolute banger. Guys, thank you so much for always tapping into everything I do. I love and appreciate every one of you. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends to tell their friends that DC's got a YouTube channel. And then I'm dropping stuff like this. Until next time, peace.